Like many other South Africans, Xoliswa has decided to become a social entrepreneur, uplifting her community and supporting herself financially. Her new business is in the healthcare space. While doing a business plan, Xoliswa discovered that one of her biggest potential customers is government. In fact, she learns that national and provincial governments are some of the largest buyers of goods and services in the country. These governments regularly use thousands of suppliers, from large companies to small businesses. These suppliers provide a variety of services from training to catering and deliver anything from cell phones to cups. For example, when a provincial Department of Education needs to provide extra classrooms in its schools, it hires a construction company to build the classrooms. And to do this, it must follow a procurement process. Procurement, in its most broad sense, means buying things. But more commonly, when we are using this word, we're talking about government buying things needed and paying for them using public money. Xoliswa finds out about how to become a supplier to the Eastern Cape Department of Health. To do so, her company must follow a certain defined process. In South Africa, buying of goods and services by government is regulated by the Public Finance Management Act, the PFMA, and the Preferential Procurement Policy Framework Act, the PPPFA, which stipulate tender, payment and contracting processes and preferential procurement policies, which state broad-based black economic empowerment, the BBEE, factors in awarding work. Every public transaction will first have some kind of procurement process prior to the sale. Once a good or a service is sold to the state, a contract of sale will always be concluded. This will set out the service provider's obligations to provide and the state's obligations to pay. High-value contracts, often called tenders or bids, are usually for above a certain threshold, and the relevant accounting officers must ensure that these contracts are advertised in at least the government tender bulletin. They are open to any registered company, regardless of size, and include sole proprietorships. The documents will require a full competitive tender process. Lower value transactions do not have to be advertised publicly. These are called requests for quotations, RFQ. Bidders will not be requested any money to apply for a tender or contract. There may, however, be a small administrative fee charged for tender documents. A criteria for awarding the contract will be specified, as well as details for suppliers to obtain further information. After the awarding, the outcome of the process is published together with details of the supplier who has won the bid. Xoliswa learns that to be considered to sell anything to government, every supplier must be registered on the Central Suppliers Database, the CSD. So, how do you register on the CSD? Xoliswa will need the following to be registered on the CSD: a bank account and a letter from the bank to prove this account, the name of the company, an email address, a cell phone number, a tax clearance certificate from SARS, and a certification of BBEE status. The registration is done online, no paperwork, no hassles. She simply logs in to www.csd.gov.za and clicks on Register. Self-registration is relatively easy and takes less than 15 minutes to complete. Xoliswa also submits a completed payment system registration form so that she can have a payment profile for her company created by the Provincial Department of Health. Xoliswa searches for tenders daily on the National Treasury's tender portal, www.etenders.gov.za. Suppliers can search by specific services or by department. Xoliswa successfully registers a company on the CSD and within a few days sees a tender that seems perfectly suited for her company, supplying linen in all hospitals in the province. She submits a proposal that includes how and when the delivery will be done, in which hospitals and the amounts charged. She double-checks all calculations done, as once submitted, costs cannot be resubmitted and suppliers are held to them for at least 30 days, sometimes longer. She also includes information on the company, including similar projects they have worked on and client letters of recommendations from previous clients. All of this is neatly bound and delivered before the closing date. No tenders can be received after the official cut-off date and time as specified on the bid document. When the EC Department of Health evaluates Xoliswa's bid alongside all other bids, it must treat every bidder fairly and equally. It cannot give one of the bids special preference. The only factors that can be considered when choosing winning bids are whether the bidder has the proper technical skills to do the work, the price of the bid, as well as a few other factors such as triple BEE status. These factors must be clearly set out in the bid documents so that everyone knows beforehand the factors which will be used to measure them against their competitors. Unfortunately for Xoliswa, another supplier was awarded the contract. Like all suppliers, she has the right to ask how much the winning supplier quoted and who the winning supplier is. For more information, visit www.csd.gov.za and https://etenders.treasury.gov.za.